going on, guys? This is the SN95 1996 Ford Mustang GT. So for this video, we're just gonna do a walk around, just showing what I did, what it looked like before, how much everything costs, and hopefully this kind of helps you if you're looking to take on a project car or even a flip car just to make a little bit of money. So the background on this one is, this was at a dealership. I have somebody that I know that works at a dealership. This car was a daily driver. It was very neglected mechanically, inside and outside. It is very trashed. If I have any pictures, I'll put it on this video. But the outside, the paint was terrible. There was no, like, it didn't even look like it had paint on some parts. The inside, let me show you the inside. Right now it's still not done, like you can see these door panels, but it is clean. This steering wheel's got to be done. Let's see if we can get it brighter in here. It's got floor mats. I just had the rubber ones in to keep the carpets clean, but I take them out with every car I do. This was disgusting. That was black. There's no seat cover back there yet because I still haven't put it on, but it was relatively clean. It was just a smoker, so everything was covered in ash and it was disgusting, and nothing, this gray was not gray. It almost looked black how bad it was. But so yeah, we'll start with what I first did, just going in order. So what I did was I jacked up the car on jack stands, and I took, let me lower this. I took all four wheels off and I scrubbed the crap out of them. They were covered in brake dust. Now they look really clean. So as you can see, they cleaned up nice. These are actually newer wheels. He replaced them probably 5 or 6 years ago. And what was nice is the owner actually has a lot of like records of what he did and told me everything he did. He did put some money into it, just didn't take that good of care of this Mustang. It has brand new brake pads. It's got the newer wheels wrapped in new tires. They're Hankook, which is just a basic street tire, all seasons tire. They are 245s all the way around, and these are 17-inch rims, so they're very clean. It has new suspension all the way around. Sorry if it's kind of hard to see. I can't even see my screen. So new suspension, new brakes, so that was nice. New tires. So I took off the wheels, I cleaned them up, and it's my signature thing. I always spray the brake calipers. So all the way around, all the brake calipers are red. This side's probably the easiest to see. So, yep, brake calipers sprayed red all the way around. I just think that adds, like when you're looking from back here, it just makes it look a lot better. So once I got that done, I did, when this was all taken off, it's kind of hard to see, but under here, the wheel wells I sprayed black just with rattle can spray paint, and I had about 5 cans to do everything, and those were each $1 each, so $5 to spray it all black. It was all, I cleaned it really good, sprayed it black, and then 1 can of red, which was probably like $5 because I used nicer paint, and then just a lot of cleaning, a lot of scrubbing with cleaning products I already had. After that, I ordered headlights. I ordered this Magic Drift lip spoiler, which makes it look way more aggressive, and that's actually what this license plate is. License plate holder is Magic Drift. Really good product. It went right on, just a few screws, but I didn't put the headlights in or the drift lip, Magic Drift lip on yet. So after I sprayed everything, after I did the wheels, wheel wells, everything, I gave it a good wash across the whole thing, and I sent it to paint. And This was around Thanksgiving, so I got a deal. It was $425 for paint, the whole thing. All they did was prime and paint. Didn't do any body work, which now that I think about it, I probably should have gotten some body work done. If you can see, there's some just from bugs and rocks, because this was a highway car. All the miles that are on it are highway. So I wish I kind of sanded that down before I sent it to paint. And just some other, you know, it's kind of hard to see. There's some paint chips and stuff, but you know what? This is a flip car. I'm not keeping it. So did a paint job. Makes this thing look so much better. It does look good. I am gonna try to get rid of some of the orange peel with. I'll probably do a video on that later, but so that was 400 something bucks. So I bought this car for $1,400. The reason it was $1,400 was because 1, it looked bad. 2, it had a very bad electrical draw somewhere. The only thing they knew is put an alternator on and it'll last for a few days. So in a span of 5 years, this thing has had 10 alternators. They just put it in, fix it for a little bit, and then it would just die while you're driving. They couldn't figure it out. It was at a Ford dealership for a long time, and they couldn't figure it out. So I got it really cheap. I'm like, I'm gonna fix it. And I spent about $500 to $600 with my mechanic helping me fixing the problem. It wasn't really parts, it was more labor. So here it is. Got these stickers. Got the cold air intake. That was probably $60, $70. Just makes it look better under. Not really for power gains or anything. So this is a newer alternator. It's probably like the 12th one put on. So in your wires, see, I don't know if this is the exact part, but there are fuses. It's called fuse relay. In the wire, there's a fuse relay that was bad, completely bad. So the wire going from here all the way over to the fuse box, then connected to the battery, where there was a fuse relay that was bad. So the alternator would not charge this battery. You'd run on the battery for probably 3 to 5 miles. And then the car would just die. So we didn't know it was that for a while. So we replaced the alternator again, see if that would do it. Nope, didn't do it. Should have known. And then we replaced the fuse relay. That fixed it. I'm driving around for miles. Probably after about 45 minutes of driving, it stops charging. The voltage meter would drop down. That voltage meter right there would just drop. There you go. There you go from here all the way down within 3 to 5 miles. So this is after weeks of research and working on it, and nothing's working. So I'm reading all these forums and I can't find anything. I found some information that was helpful, but it didn't help with this problem. So I find this YouTube video and the guy has the same exact problems, and he's saying replace the battery, didn't fix it. Alternator, didn't fix it. We replaced the terminals. I forgot to mention that. We replaced these terminals. These are new terminals. That didn't help anything really. He said all that. Fuse relay didn't help. That didn't solve the problem. It did help, but it didn't solve the problem. And then he finally mentions that behind the dash there's a voltage meter, and that actually helps send the signal from wherever to whatever to the battery to the alternator to know to charge this. And one night I was sitting in this thing and the charge was dropping. I was just letting it run to see if it would die. The charge was dropping. I just got mad kind of, and I hit the dashboard like that, and the voltage meter goes right up to where it's supposed to be, and it's charging. So I'm like, oh, what the heck? So now it's charging, and I drove it around for a little bit, and I noticed the voltage meter go, whoop, oh, all right, now we're dying. And I'd smack the dash and it go right back up. So I kept on doing that. I did that for a week, and it did it. So I'm like, I took it to my mechanic. I told him everything, and he's like, all right, I'll look behind there. And sure enough, there was some loose connections back there, and he fixed it. So now this thing's running perfect. So I bought the headlights, which were $75. The lip was $70. Paint, mechanical issues all fixed. Now this thing's sitting where it's at right now for about $3,100. Car seat covers all cleaned up. It looks really good now. When I got this, valve covers were coated in oil, which was not a good sign. This was all, that was all black. See if you can see this. This was all black. Everything was disgusting. Everything was coated in oil and dirt and sand and everything. I don't know how sand got in here, but that was not good. So I sprayed it down. I bagged off this. I bagged off the alternator, coil packs, everything that was electrical, the mass airflow sensor, and then I just sprayed it down with the hose. Sprayed it down, and this is while the engine's hot, so it's steaming off. Then I soak everything in engine degreaser. Should have done a video on all this, but I didn't think to start this channel till just now. Anyways, degreased it, got most of the oil off, and then I did it one more time, and now it's where you see it. It's very clean looking now, pretty clean for a 96. And that was only probably 25 bucks worth of degreaser and cleaning products, but I already had the cleaning products, so that doesn't count. So that's what happened. So now we're at where we're at. This is where we're totaled up in price. And the thing looks like this. The top had no problems, no leaks. I am gonna dye it because look at it. Just look at it. I have to dye this thing. It just looks bad. I have the top dye, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll make a video on that. And then when I was driving, had a coolant hose bust. I wasn't even driving hard, so placed the coolant, did coolant flush, good. Car's running nice and cool. But I just noticed it's like underpowered. I know these things aren't fast or anything, and so what I did is I got new spark plugs, and as you can see in the picture, these spark plugs were done. So I put the new spark plugs in. I cleaned out inside them because there was sand and oil, which there was oil in a couple of them, which means there's a head gasket problem probably, but I said it's not burning oil, it's not doing anything. I have Lucas stop leak because it is an old motor, and there's no coolant being burned, so I don't know why there was oil in there, but so now it's mechanically running perfect. And we're at where we're at. And I actually, this is a Cobra hood. So this is a Cobra hood, as you can see. And there was a big insulator, and I took it off to clean it, and I noticed there's a light bulb, which I still haven't gotten to work. Haven't had time to fool with it. And there's actual air like holes for the hood. So the hood scoop goes in here and just forces the air that's going in. So that's pretty cool that these are actual functioning vents. Most vents on Mustangs like this, for example, these are non-functioning, and I don't even know what the point of them is besides they look cool. I feel like it would be better if they just had a hole coming. It's not hard to have a hole. It's not hard to have a hole coming from there to right behind there. I feel like that would just be cool and functional, but it's too hard for Ford probably. So now we got a functioning hood vents for our car. This thing's running good. I am gonna get stripes for it because I think that helps sell Mustangs. While we're here, Might as well get a cold start video for you guys. I actually had a Hurst shifter just laying around, so I put it in here along with this steering wheel cover. I feel like that just makes it look a little different. Also, the shifter is really nice. It helps shift. Speaking of shifting, when I first got it, it was shifting really hard. It was hard to go in gear. Almost felt like the transmission was bad, but I did a transmission flush and this thing shifts like butter now. So obviously still have some work to do. These panels just need to be fixed. They're solid, not really cracking or anything. But another little quirk to this car. Right before, so you can see it's 75,000 miles, 325. This thing doesn't actually have that. It stopped probably a month before this guy sold it to me at that distance, so I'm guessing it's probably got about 85,000 miles now on the high end. So it is a low mileage car. That's pretty much it. This is the Project Stang SN95. If you have any other questions or videos you'd like to see, please feel free to comment. I'd like to make more content about how I do this, how you make money. You know, I'm not a mechanic, so how do I replace spark plugs and do a coolant flush and stuff all on my own? How do I know how to do that? So I'd like to help anybody that's looking to get into flipping cars or just cars in general. So if you like this video, just make sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be having a lot more video content like this, along with products that I use on my cars, along with how-to videos on how to like change oil, basic, how to do a coolant flush, how to change your spark plugs. So if you want to see more content like that, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Really appreciate it.